Welcome. Good afternoon, Clara. It's so wonderful to meet you today.
Hi.
Let me go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Lillian Fazi, and I'm going to be completing your intake today. Before we get started, let me just ask you, how are you doing?
Um, I'm doing okay. Definitely now that spring is coming, I'm feeling a little bit better.
I can agree with you on that. Today was wonderful. I hope you got out in the sunshine.
I did a little bit and it definitely made a difference.
That's good. Is it okay if I go ahead and just ask you some questions to get to know you better?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Have you always lived in this general area?
No, so my family is from Colombia and we came to America a couple of years ago and we initially lived in Chicago and we lived there for a little bit and then we came to Buffalo like a few months ago.
Okay. Tell me, how have you liked these areas? It seems like you've kind of always lived in bigger cities.
Yeah, I mean, I loved living in Colombia. I didn't really want to move. It was really more so a decision that my mom's made without my um input, so that kind of stinks. And I did like living in Chicago. I had met a guy there, but I ended up getting pregnant and then I found out he was cheating on me. And then I ended up losing the baby. And honest, like the sonogram is my phone screensaver. Like it means like I that was just like really devastating. So I guess coming to Buffalo has been a little bit of a new start, but um it does not feel like home, definitely.
Absolutely. I can definitely see where you're coming from with all these different components that you're struggling with lately. It says here that you're currently living at 246 Wally Road in Buffalo, New York. Is that correct?
Yeah, yep.
Could you tell me more about this current living residence?
Sure, yeah, it's a shelter. A lot of other like refugees and asylum seekers live there. So there's a lot of people who are there.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like maybe you don't get a lot of privacy, or it could be very loud and distracting or disruptive, possibly. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, there's always kids running around. I feel like there's no privacy whatsoever. Um, and it definitely can get really frustrating.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is going to mean very unsatisfied, and 10 would mean satisfied completely. Where are you on that scale with your living location right now?
Probably like a three.
Okay. What makes you score a 3 on that scale rather than a 10?
Um, well, my when we came to America, my sister was turned away at the border and we were really close. So now she and I are separated, and I feel really isolated from her. So I really can't feel like I'm at home without her being here. Um, Honestly, just like being on my phone is kind of my only source of escape right now. I just feel really isolated.
Okay. Tell me, you talked a little bit about your sister. What is that relationship like between the two of you? It feels like this has been very hard that she was turned away and she's no longer with you. So you guys must have been close, correct?
Yeah, we were very close. She's a couple years older than me. And I just kind of always felt like she protected me and always had like she guided me and like I really aspired to be like her when I get older. So just like not having that support system there from someone who's close to my age and kind of understands what I'm going through is really difficult.
Hmm. So it seems that a support of yours for a long while has now been taken away from you, and you now have to navigate and cope with that, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that with me, Clara, so much. It sounds like you're experiencing a difficult time right now, and I really look forward to assisting you in this journey and helping you navigate and manage this difficult time. I would like to ask you just a little bit about your medical history, if you're comfortable with that. You mentioned that you had lost a baby. Is there anything else I should be aware of?
Besides that, no, I've never really had too many health problems in the past.
Okay, no seizures or asthma, diabetes.
I do occasionally get like bad headaches. Um, but really besides that, um, not anything I can think of.
Okay. When you get those headaches, is there anything you specifically notice? Maybe a time of day or a situation or event you currently experienced?
Yeah, I guess usually it kind of happens when I'm really stressed.
Okay.
I've noticed like especially like when I like towards the end of the day at school, if it's been a really busy day, I start to feel like those headaches coming on. And sometimes when I'm back at home, just all the people around being so loud,
Mm.
um, it makes it even worse. And I just want to lay in the quiet, in the dark, and it's really hard to do that where I am now.
Yeah, it seems like you have a lot of homework and schoolwork, and then you're coming back to this shelter, and you're just not able to really maybe do any self-care activities to make yourself feel better and relax and rested.
Yeah, it's definitely really difficult to do that. And that can be really frustrating. I feel like especially like being 15, I want to have a little bit of independence and
Absolutely.
privacy.
Mm. Gosh, yes. Let me ask you, are you receiving any benefits for financial assistance at this time?
I'm not really too sure about that.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe are you working or interested in obtaining employment?
I am currently in school, but I do have a part-time job just to kind of help my family save up money so we can eventually get an apartment.
Okay. I am interested to learn more about your relationship with your family. Can you tell me more?
Yeah, so my one parent and I, we have a really good relationship. She stands up for me and really supports me. But my my mom, we argue a lot, and she has like hit me in the past. It's not happening anymore, but we still just really don't seem to get along or see eye to eye on like anything.
Okay. Could you give me an example on a couple things maybe that you don't see eye to eye and you fight about a lot?
Um, Definitely me using my phone. Like I said, like using my like it's my only way to communicate like with my sister, and it's really like my form of escape, and my mom gets really frustrated with me because she says that I'm always on my phone. And I just wish that she would understand like why I do that as opposed to just thinking that like I'm being rude or um insensitive or something like that.
No, absolutely. I can kind of see, where you're coming from and where your mother's coming from. She may not truly understand. And have you ever shared with her what you are doing on your phone and maybe that you are talking to your sister and offer that you guys do a group call together and kind of catch up on things?
I guess we could do that. I guess I kind of just keep to myself what I do, just because I feel like it's not her business. But I guess if she did know that I was talking to my sister, maybe she would be a little bit more understanding.
Mhm. So it sounds like what you've told me is that you have a great support from your sister and your one mother. And it's very beneficial to have both those supports in this recovery process and journey at this time. And you're also kind of maybe in the contemplative stage in strengthening your relationship with your biological mother. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would really like to. I think that that would be really helpful in terms of helping me feel a little bit more comfortable with our situation now. Because, like, at the end of the day, we're really all that we have. Um, like, obviously, there are so many people around us here, but we're the only ones that we can rely on. And so it would be really helpful to have kind of a better relationship with her.
Okay. Um, Clara, you identified a score of 7 as your satisfaction with your current living situation. Have you ever thought of what your life would look like if you do seek asylum with your family here in America?
We're in the process of doing that. I'm hoping that if we do get approved, maybe we can get my sister to come. Um, and I would love to move out of here and have our own place.
Absolutely. Tell me, what would the perfect home for your family look like to you?
Well, my sister would definitely need to be here. Um, but I would love to have our own house. I'd love to have some like security and just know that we don't have to move again. Because we've been moving so much. Um, I want to know that we're not going to just suddenly get deported. Um, I think for me, it's really about having the security of knowing that like we can be in America and we're things aren't just going to be pulled out. The rug isn't going to be pulled out from under us. Um, so that's really kind of what I care most about and getting my sister here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Clara, do you have any friends here? You're currently in school, you're at the shelter, and you said that there are kids there. Maybe there's a support there for you.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the girls at the shelter and at school don't really like me that much. And in terms of the boys, just with my past experiences, I don't trust them. Um, but I do prefer to be friends with boys as opposed to girls. Just because with girls, there's always so much drama. Um, I would like to have like friends who are girls, but I feel like it always turns into drama that I don't want to deal with.
Okay. Um, so it seems like you're interested in having both females and males for friends, and you're just maybe not quite sure how to navigate the friendship path with females, correct?
Yeah, I guess I've never, besides like my sister, I've never really had a close female friend. So I guess I don't even really know what that looks like or like how to even go about doing that. Um, but it would be nice to have some girls around me who like I feel that I can talk to and relate to.
Yeah, absolutely. Just during this time, until you get your sister back here, because ultimately that is the goal. You get a house with your family, feel safe and stable here, and no more moving. I would like to ask you another scaling question. Same scale, 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely no interest, and 10 meaning absolutely interested. Um, how interested are you in maybe doing some extracurricular activities at school?
Um, I would have to get my parents' permission, um, just because they always want to know where I am after school. Um, but I guess if I could find a group of people who are interested in some of the same things that I am, like I really like to play soccer. Um, I guess maybe if I could find people to do that with, maybe that would be helpful.
Okay. Are there any interests or hobbies that you currently have? Maybe we could match them up with some extracurriculars that are at your school and potentially talk with your family about you doing them.
Yeah, I guess besides soccer, I really like beauty videos on like TikTok and things like that. Um, I do like to read. Um, and I don't know if this sounds nerdy, but like history is my favorite subject in school. Um,
Absolutely not. I actually enjoyed history as well. So,
oh, cool.
so you mentioned books. There are book clubs, maybe potentially in the area. I know different libraries sometimes host groups each month, every week on a specific day. Maybe we could look into those and start gaining some more friends and your support.
I think that would work. I do think there are some libraries kind of nearby where I am. Um, so, and I'm sure that if it was at a library, my parents would be a little bit more willing to say yes.
Absolutely, that's understandable. Clara, I truly appreciate you coming in today. It was wonderful to meet you. Why don't we go ahead and schedule an appointment for the beginning of the week so that we can start brainstorming, discussing different resources, going over different pieces of information to identify specific action steps to make friends. How does that sound?
I think that sounds like a good plan.
Okay, wonderful. So I will see you early next week.
Thanks so much, Lily. This has been really helpful, and I'm looking forward to our next appointment.
Absolutely, you too.